Breaking the silence, taking the dive in. Nikki pulling strings like she playing the violin. Made in his likeness, radiant vibrance. Give them all glory in a way to deny it. She gon' make you laugh, she gon' stimulate your mind. Making things shake, she ain't in the wasting time. They can come close but can't imitate the grind. Got a different way to illustrate and innovate designs. BTS podcast, gotta watch that. Teaching us the game, that mean Nikki got class. If you watch it once, you gon' wanna stop back. This an opportunity that you cannot pass. Unleash your inner voice, cause better days coming. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days.
When we find courage to speak, we give others permission to heal. Welcome back to another episode of Breaking the Silence. This is the podcast where stories are shared to inspire, empower, and help you find your voice. This week and every week, I sit down with some incredible guests that are turning their pain into purpose and making an impact in the world. Today, I'm honored to sit down with See Nagato Kellz, fighting instructor. He is a musician, artist. He's also the co-host on Blunt Conversations and the AM King Show. So, after the countdown, please welcome this amazing gentleman to the platform.
I'm innocent big. I need my 6 feet, release me. You're here to protect and serve. You're beneath me, can't touch it, too weak. Touch me and get dead and too weak. I am asystematic, you're asystematic. I see you want no static, I see you keep it still. You're the one with the ratchet, you got the right one trying to stunt. Jackie Chan, we gon' rumble in the Bronx. Anything you want, anything you choose, anything you flaunt, you know you're gonna lose. You know what I'ma do? Get back my tools, I'ma write about it.
Hey.
Hey,
How you doing today?
doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. So tell everybody a little bit more about you, because I know I gave them a little snippet. So tell them a little bit more about you.
Well, my name is See Nagato Kellz. That's my I guess you could say my artist name and also my adopted name by my adopted names. So C started from when I was in my early teens, and I started rapping and getting into writing music and writing songs. And so I called myself C4. And but that was a connotation seeing into the future, the fourth for me, because I'm the third. I don't want to have a son and name him after me, name him the fourth. So then my actual name is Charlie. So C is also a part of me as well because I like to use my eyes a lot. I'm very observant of my surroundings, extremely observant of my surroundings. So that's how I got that name C. The way I got Nagato was from the show Naruto Shippuden. There's a group called Akatsuki, and the leader of that group is called Nagato. And all my friends, they said that I look like him and I act like him the most, act like a leader, and so they gave me that name. And my last name is Kellz, so See Nagato Kellz.
Wow. So now tell me, when did you fall in love with the mic?
Oh, ever since I can see, I guess. Or ever since I realized that I have a voice.
Nice. Wow. So can you walk me through like a process of how it is when you create music, the process to write music? Do you have to be like in a quiet environment or, listen to instrumentals to write? How does that look for you?
Well, it depends on my mood. Most of the time, I'm up 5 a.m. and that's when I decide to write. When there's no distractions, there's no sound, there's nothing else, just me and my creativity. Sometimes I could be outside and I see something. I'm like, oh wow, that's a song, and I'll remember and I'll say like a few lyrics to myself. I'll jot it down right quick. Then when I get home, I expound on it. Sometimes it's me hearing an instrumental and I'm like, okay, let me write to that. So there's so many different ways I have inspiration for creativity.
So if you had to choose, now I know all your songs are probably one of your favorite songs, but if you had to choose between all of your songs, which would be your favorite and your most meaningful one?
My favorite and most meaningful, Hmm. I would say etymologicide. Oh, and by the way, etymologicide means the murder of words. Etymolo, word, side, murder, murder of words. So etymologicide. That song is basically about very small gist of my life and a very small gist of how I healed through the years. And it gives meaning because it was then I decided to be truthful with myself. And I mean, I was always truthful with myself for a while. I mean, there were times where I wasn't truthful. Yet through the years of being truthful with myself, I came to writing that song. And I was thinking, what am I going to write about? And that idea came to my head. Well, how old am I? What's my age at that time? Well, 33. Wow, 33 years I've been here. Stories being told. Yeah, 33 years of stories being told. It took a while for me to get where I'm going right now. So yeah, it took a long time to find where to go. Depression, abuse for years, and it shows. And it just kept flowing from there. And I decided to just say how I felt about how I felt things were just unfair. It was I had to do things from an ignorant standpoint where I knew absolutely nothing. And the people around me that they thought they knew, then when I go to try it and I was like, nope, don't work. Don't work mine. Starting from zero.
Wow. So now I gotta ask this question because I ask all the artists this question because me personally, when I listen to a song, the first thing I'm thinking about is that beat. The first maybe 30 seconds of it, if the beat is good, I'm gonna keep going. I'm listening to what you gotta say. But now after interviewing so many artists, I've learned to really appreciate the lyrics too. So now I'm not even, paying attention to the beat. I'm listening more to the lyrics. But to you, in your opinion, what makes a song truly a hit? The lyrics or the beat?
A hit, if we're talking mainstream, it the beat, the instrumental has to be on point. Has to. There is no question about it in terms of mainstream music hits. Now, if we're talking about our personal hits, I would say the instrumental in itself may not necessarily be the main factor. The main factor is the lyrics and how the lyrics made you feel, or at least made me feel in terms of a hit. And so when I know that I'm putting out my music, I know someone else is going to listen to it. And I know that the majority listens for the rhythm first before they listen to the word. So I had to make sure that the instrumentals I was using were catchy and make a person want to stop and listen. Oh, wow. Oh, that's nice. And at the same time, if you listen to my album, it's a total different genre of music. It's a genre that I created. And I'm forcing the person to listen because there is no music at first. I give the introduction and I'm going forward. So just think of it as an audio movie.
I noticed that, and I was going to ask you that question now. Now, when I was listening to Untouchable, I was like, wait a minute, now he talking first, like you
Hmm.
giving an explanation of it, and then boom, you go into it, and when the beat hit, you just go into it, and I'm like, oh, I like this. So,
Yeah.
what made you decide to do it that way?
Well, in terms of music and hip hop and overall, most people don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear what they need to hear in order to become better. They rather stay bitter. They rather stay in their trauma because it's a lot easier because of where we are. This is a very low, dense, vibrational place. So it's easier for us to cling to trauma. It's easier to do it. Most people don't want to hear that. So I figure, why don't I tell a story with meaning? That way, they're listening to something, they're getting entertained, but at the same time, their subconscious is being talked to with truth, principles, and morals. Well, if they realize it or not, and it doesn't matter if they realize it, all that matters is they heard it. Their subconscious is going to ring out and bring out information, people, places, situations that'll bring about healing and truth.
Wow. So now you pulled all your music back off the play. Why did you pull it back off?
Oh, because I want to be on my website. I want to have uh, uh, a relationship with my fans and people interact with my music because my music is for everyone, yet it's not for everyone.
Mm.
It's
And
for everyone to hear, but it's not for everyone. And I don't want to be taken advantage of.
mm.
I realized that most of the platforms take advantage of people, and it's time for us as artists to call our power back. We have the internet now. The internet is free,
Yeah,
sort of, sort of free.
sort of.
Yeah, yeah, it's sort of free. So as artists have to take our power back. We could just they can go on our website, and when it comes to care and in the human condition, when someone truly cares, they'll give in to you without you even asking.
That's a fact. That's
They'll
a
give
fact.
you money without you even asking. They'll give you something that you need without you even having to ask.
Mhm.
So if your music is truly coming from your soul, not to say that you should go do a show and not get paid. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
In terms of music being online, yes, I will have it for a set price, only so people can respect it. Because I know that people don't respect things that are free,
That's true. That's
which
true.
is which is why I made my book cost money on Amazon because people don't respect information if it's free.
You know, that's something to think about. You're right. I never really thought about it that way. They don't. They don't. They don't respect nothing that's free. So my thing is with everything going on in the music industry today, because I come from like way back. I ain't gonna tell my age up here, but way back in the day when I was doing the era of the CDs. But
Okay.
they had it where you would go in the studio, you would record for hours, and then people were voting your songs. Not only that, you had the CDs, you had the record player, you had all these different cassette tapes. I was in that era too.
Hmm.
Now being from going from there to going to streaming for literally less than a penny, how has that affected you as an artist in the industry?
Me, when I had my music up from about 3,000 views, I got about $30. So when people say those things, I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I still want the full scope of my money because I'm still, if I'm getting 3,000 and the next person is getting less than that, I wonder what someone else is getting that's above me in terms of tier. They must be getting more. So I want the full logistics of my money. So I'm going to create a website where a person can get my first album for free, yet the next album you got to pay for. Because the first album is just an introduction into the whole genre. And then when you realize you're listening to audio movies, you say, oh wow, I could sit back and just listen to them and just vibe out and listen to the story because it's a crazy story. And by the way, Untouchable in that scene, what happened was I got arrested and I'm in the precinct, and the precinct asks him, "What you bringing him in for?" He said, "He's killing where there's lead and ink everywhere," and that was very little because that was literally happening. So he's thinking in his head, "That's graffiti. You from man, get him out of here." So I'm being real petty and sarcastic with the cop. Hands off! Don't touch me. I'm innocent as sick, B. So and from there just went on. And that's JPad, by the way, that was talking.
Oh, I like that song. I
Thank
do.
you.
I listened to it, and I listened to it the first time, right? I like the beat. The beat caught me. Then I listened to it the second time. I said, okay, now I got to listen to the lyrics. And I noticed you were talking. I noticed the talking was in the beginning, and I was like, "That's what's the talking about?" I said, okay, I gotta ask him about this. Like, it's like
Okay.
I felt like you were telling a story, and then boom, you just boom started rapping. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying to the cops. So to better clarify, all right, so not to give too much of the story, what happens is I get possessed by a pen and pencil. A pen and pencil had a spirit in it. The pen and pencil had a spirit named Mura and Masa. I used the pen and I there was ink and lead there. I smoked it and I got possessed by it. So I'm outside rapping. So whenever I rap, lead and ink gets all over the floor from me rapping. And the cop saw this, so he's like, he's killing words. He's a murderer. He's a very zealous cop. He's the zealous cop that we see in the hood. He's the prejudiced, zealous cop that we see in the hood and all over the place. The sergeant, J-Pad, he's the righteous cop, the cop that really can't say much because if he says something, they're gonna kill him too.
Mm.
So he's like, he's killing where he's letting go. He's like, man, get him out of here. And so the reason you hear music is because J-Pad was playing music at the precinct because he's a producer. So he was playing music. So as I was going in, the music was playing. So as the music was playing, I'm like, I'm a freestyle over this and talk to this dude right here.
Mm. Wow. No, when
So the
you come up
music has
with a visual
meaning.
for that, because that
So
you need to do a visual for that.
oh yes, I am.
Oh my God. I just, as you was talking, I was visualizing it. At the same time, I was like, that's gonna be a dope video.
Yeah, it's gonna be a movie because the end ended. Now I'm going to the next part of the segment of the story.
Wow. Wow. Now, besides music, you also do creative visual art. Now, how do
Yeah.
you tie the music into the art and how do they influence each other?
Well, music is vibrations, and vibrations is everywhere. And the art that I do deals with vibration. I mean, all right, this is a sphinx, and so I made this, by the way. And there's stones and crystals in here, and this is organic material. So any organic material, scientifically speaking, absorbs all bad radiation. That's one. Two, crystals under pressure omit frequencies that we need. And there's also metal in here. So when the positive ions go through here, it rubs on the metal and turns into negative ions. And also rubbing against the crystals omits positive energy that we need. So from that, I have more of a connection, more clarity of imagination, more clarity of focus.
Wow. And you said you made that.
Yes, I made a whole bunch. I made this ashtray.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a whole like my whole house is littered. It's filled with so much. Like I can reach anywhere inside my house and find something.
So now not only do you do the art as well and make things, you also play instruments, one being the
Yeah.
guitar. So what other instruments do you
Bass, play bass, and just about any percussion except drums.
so as a professional musician, what has been one of the most memorable performances or projects that you have worked on and why?
Uh, I would say playing at Webster Hall in New York.
Hmm.
That was we was at it was a contest and we came in fourth place. I feel like we would have came in first if there weren't any technical difficulties, and it's a lesson that I had to learn. When you go into a contest, you always bring your own equipment, even if they say we have equipment there.
Yes, yes.
So I got there, the cord was faulty, and I'm like, what's going on here? And then the cord comes out, and it's oh my god, we still played well. We got through it. We came in fourth. So I felt like we would have been in first if I ain't have all that
Mm-hmm.
going on.
Mm-hmm. Probably would have. You're right. So now I'm down to the last question before I pass the mic to you. Who were you before the world labeled you? And who are you now?
Who was I before the world? Just, just, just him. Just love, just spirit. That's all. Before the world labeled me who I am now, the same thing, same person, just love.
So you didn't change not one bit. He said, I'm still me.
Yeah, I'm still. I mean, don't there was ups and downs in the journey. Of course, it's still gonna be ups and downs.
Right.
It's I didn't always realize that I am love. It wasn't until it wasn't until I decided to just dive deep, and I just said I asked one day because I was saying to myself, I don't want to be deceived. I just don't want to be deceived. I don't want to be deceived because I came up in a hardcore Christian home, and one of the prophecies that was said, it was said that the majority of the world perished because they were deceived by a lie, and if it were possible, even the elect was deceived by a lie. So I said that's I'm a very logical person. I also break things down because words were meant for something. It's not just my interpretation. When that person said something meant one thing, period. It could have been symbolic for one or two things. There could have been double entendres there. Yeah, there'll be context clues for that. So when a person talks and they write down something, they meant something. It's not up for me to put up my interpretation to it and tell the rest of the world, oh, this is how we're supposed to live because this is how I interpret it. No. So I'm sitting there, I'm reading to even the elect. So, and I began to digest who's the elect. The elect are the one who's called and chosen. They say there's no such thing as called and chosen. Well, yes, there is, because called means you just answered the call. You went to the briefing. Chosen means you decided to take on a mission. That means you were taught, you were trained, you were tested and proven. So that means you were given knowledge and information. Even those people were deceived. So I'm like, I don't want to be deceived. Then I noticed something too. Statistically speaking, majority of the world is Christian. So I was like, I'm stepping back. So if majority of the world is Christian, and the Bible is saying right here that majority of the world would perish because they were deceived by lies, let me step back and see what are lies. And I looked into another prophecy. Jesus talked about how people are not going to do it. And it was like, nah, get out of here. But did not pray in your name, did not heal people in your name, did not preach in your name, saying, I don't know you, get out of here. So I realized that the problem is relationship. So the problem is relationship. How can you know someone? Let me ask you this. You know your children, right? To get to know your children, do you read a book about them or do you go deal with them?
You gotta deal with them. That's a
All
day
right.
by day.
So why are we, I'm not saying to not read the Bible. Why are we substituting the Bible for a relationship?
You can't.
You can't. So then when I realized, I'm like, okay, so if they're saying that God is an outside being, how can I communicate with this outside being? This being is not here, because the Bible makes it very clear that God is most definitely a physical being. So if that physical being is not here, how am I supposed to have a relationship with this person? And that's when I realized that that's when we had the names and words all mixed up and they had everything misconstrued. So that's why I'm like, okay. Well, then Jesus was talking to the priest and the priest said, well, what have you say? So I told you already, you are God. Then they came back and asked him again. He said, whoa, 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 listen, it is also written in your law that you are God. So that if you are God and you're trying to knock on God's door, why are you knocking and asking for someone that you are? So of course I don't know you. You don't know yourself.
I thought about that one. Boy, you is deep, boy. I love to hear you talk. That's why I was sitting over here just looking. I'm just looking and listening. I like to hear you talk about your wisdom. You put that wisdom out. I just be sitting and looking like I learned something new
Yeah, I
today.
listen to you too. I listen to you too. I learn from everyone. And
Man.
you are a very humble and loving person.
Thank you. Thank you. Every time I go on blunt conversations, I be sitting there, and when you go to talking, I just sit back just like this. I'll be like, "Come on now, come on, see, come on through now." Oh man, but I'm going to pass the mic to you. I'm gonna do the countdown, and when we come back, this is your moment to let everybody know where to find the music, when it's coming, if you know the date, and like give some artists that are in the new generation some type of advice, because to be honest, music is not what music used to be to me.
That's not.
I'm
Yeah.
stuck in the '90s, so I mean, it's not the
okay.
best. '90s was the best era. I don't care what people say. '90s was the best era. So just give them some kind of advice, because now they're taking advantage of people out here in the music industry. People think they're gonna blow up, and it's not an overnight thing. It's just not. You gotta work. So after the countdown, spotlight is on you.
Okay.
All right. What's up, everybody? First, I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting Breaking the Silence. Because without you, none of this would be possible. None of it. See, Breaking the Silence started off with my voice. Me coming out of my shell, me finding me. And doing something I should have done a long time ago. But then as time went by, I was like, you know what? There's some amazing people out here doing amazing things that I want to shine the light on. So that's why you are here. So thank you so much for being a part of Breaking the Silence and continuing to break the silence with me. But now I got to ask you to do me a favor. Real quick. Can you share this episode with somebody that resonates with, and make sure you do two more things. Subscribe and turn your notifications on so you don't miss another episode. So let's get back into this episode.
Hey, so as you all have heard before, the name is See Nagato Kellz. And where you can find me on Facebook under Charlie Nagato Kellz. That's Charley Nagato Kellz. So just substitute the C, put Charlie Nagato Kellz. I'm the only one on the internet in the entire world with that name, so you can't miss me. One. Two, when will the music be out? Sometime next year, sometime springtime. And look for more featuring artists and look for a more in-depth story where I get to entertain people and also expose how things go on in the background concerning music and concerning morality. In terms of a message for the youth or anyone getting into music, I would say make music from your soul, from your heart. Also be mindful of what you're saying and what you're putting out, and that you are to be held accountable for your words and actions. So if you're a drill rapper, you're a drill rapper, and I get it. Um, People have stages. Yet I would still encourage you to pick up a book and read. Read 1984. Read Othello. Read Hamlet. Read a whole bunch of other like Player Piano, Fahrenheit 451. Read those kind of books and expand your mind because the more you read and more you expand your mind, the better and the the more in depth and the more profound your lyrics will become, the more you can grasp people attention and keep it where you can have a positive message. Of course, entertain, also have a positive message and bring light and love to the world because that's what we're missing. We're missing a lot of the love because I haven't seen a lot of artists really rap about love like that anymore. So let's do better. Thank you.
You know what? I'm glad you said that. I heard that from another artist, maybe one or two other artists that you don't sing about love anymore, you don't rap about love anymore. I like when artists do like collaborations where somebody sing and somebody rap.
Yeah.
To me, those are best songs.
Yeah, you get the best of both worlds. Because one of the reasons why hip hop was even started because people didn't really have a voice. Because not everyone in the hood can sing. Not everyone in the hood had instruments to play. So all we had was this little cheap DJ machine, and let me just try to put this here and put that there and make my own rhythms and little cheap recording cassette, and I have a voice now because people just even though this is a microwave society and I see and know how it even happened because that was planned. Microwave society, people just want real quick like this, and they're not concerned with the process. They're not falling in love with the process. It's not about the end product. It's about the process.
That's it. That's it. But you know, things are so easier now with the music industry. It ain't funny. You don't have to go to like to the studio no more. You can record right in your area, send them the stems, and the producer put it all together, and it's a song.
Yeah.
It's easy now. Like it's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy, but it's harder to get out though.
Yeah, and that's another reason I make my music the way I make is to be very different, to push the bar because since it's so oversaturated, then you have to make the skill level so phenomenal. You have
Yes.
to. I'm thinking about so many different things at once when it comes to my lyric and music. It's not just the lyrics; it's the settings I'm setting for the person. You can ask me anything about anything that I wrote and said, and I could tell you exactly why I said it and how I said it. Anything, everything, including down to the rhythm, cadence, everything.
Wow. So now, how do you appeal? See, I'm still going. Now you got me asking you
It's
another
okay.
questions.
I'm here.
So how do you appeal to say the baby boomer generation?
How do I appeal to them? I just be myself because once they hear me talk, they're gonna be like, "Oh wow, he knows something."
Mm-hmm.
Because I
Amen.
know a baby boomer that's a billionaire, and I got his attention because of how I was talking and the way I'm able to word things and put things together, and not just sound sensible, be sensible.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Okay, well, thank you so much for coming to support me. I always
Thank
support.
you.
I want to thank you personally for
Mhm.
all being my episodes. You just comment on something today, and I'm like, I gotta make sure to respond back to him. He watched one of
Yeah, I try to talk. I'm not too much of a. It seems like I'm a talker, but trust me, I am extremely quiet.
I see.
I'm extremely quiet. My wife be asking me to talk, and I say no.
You ain't supposed to say no now. You can't tell your wife
No,
no.
no, no. I mean, sometimes I do talk. I'm like, what do you want to talk about?
Believe it or not,
But
I'm quiet.
anyway,
I'm quiet. I'm the same way. People be like,
yeah,
no, you're not. Yes, I am actually. In real life, I'm like really quiet.
I'm really, my aunt calls me Casper because she never knows when I walk in and out the house. I mean, she don't live with me right now, but when we're living with each other, she never knew I was in the house because of how quiet I am. Walking in and out of the house, don't hear me.
No, I wasn't like that. Now you too quiet.
I'm very quiet. Yeah.
But thank you for supporting me on this journey. And we locked in. So whenever you drop some more music, let me know, and I'll run it on the
Yeah.
promo to get you some more exposure.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And thank you to everyone else out there that's tuning into this amazing episode. Listen, he dropped some knowledge, didn't he? I know y'all listening. He dropped some knowledge today. So thank you for tuning in to another episode of Breaking the Silence. I hope today's conversation reminds you that your voice matters and your story can what? Inspire others. So don't forget to subscribe, like this episode, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Keep speaking your truth. Never stop. Embrace your journey and break the silence because the world needs who? You and your story. So until next time, y'all hang in there. Later.
Better days, slowly but surely it's a better space that erase my mind, so I meditate till I levitate, I elevate, but I learn not to hesitate no more, keep moving forward, chase my goals and focus more towards it, hate the lows but I need those to flourish, place my goals in front, that's what's important. So I ask myself what inspires me, breaking out of my shell, feeling yo shot quiet me, and now I'm breaking the silence like I'm nicking the cold, let's go. Promise you gon' see better days. Gotta keep going till you see them. Promise you gon' see better days. You gotta keep going till you see them.